Hey guys, welcome again to Canadian Cutting Edge. And today, this video is probably much more for the Americans. The rest of you guys might be interested as well, because I'm looking at some knives that are sold in the United States of America. I don't know if they're sold anywhere else or not. I just don't know. And they're only sold at Walmart stores. Yeah, OzarkTrail. Let's check out 3 knives from them. All right, OzarkTrail. These knives, some of them, well, we used to be able to get knives in Walmart stores in Canada. There might be some that still have a little bit, but the selection of being able to get like sportsman's knives, pocket knives at Walmart in Canada has gone way, way, way down. And there's very little to be had here in Canada. These are all from the United States. My friend Dave in Nebraska bought these and sent them to me. And not a review per se. I just want to remind people in the US, since this knife channel, Canadian Cutting Edge, basically looks at more budgety kind of knives. And a lot of Canadians do go to the United States every once in a while. Check out Walmart. If you are in a pinch and you need a knife and you don't want to spend a lot of money, $5.94. Almost all of their pocket knives are $5.94, but you can often get them on clearance. Dave got this one, I think, in December for $3, maybe in January for $3 on clearance, just recently. And it's a knife. Is it functional? Well, yeah. Yeah, sure. Let's start looking at this more classic one just a little bit first. That's not bone or antler or anything. That's just a piece of plastic, and it's peened in there with pins and held together. The old style slip joint, and you get the old style nail nick right there, and open the blade. Yeah, it doesn't, click cleanly and stuff like, the modern slip joint knives that you can buy for, 5 times this price or 4 times this price, whatever it is. But it works. It opens, it holds it fairly well. We've got a hollow grind right here. They don't tell us what kind of steel this is, except for the fact they say it's stainless steel. So it's going to be a very cheap stainless steel, and it's going to be quite soft to modern standards for a brand new pocket knife. But is it going to cut stuff? Yeah. Is it sharp? It's okay from the factory. It's not terrible. And you don't have a stop pin when you close it. This is made the old way, so don't just slam it closed. You always look for that if there's a pin that goes across in that space down at the bottom there, and it would touch generally in a sharpener's choil, sometimes on this type of edge right here, or in a sharpener's choil, it would touch when you close it to stop the cutting edge from hitting the back. This doesn't have that, so you use that nail nick to close it gently, and there you go. Doesn't close fully. A little bit of that edge is exposed. I can't get my nail underneath there, but you can see the grind angle from the sharpened edge when it's closed, sticking out a little bit. Yeah, they're not perfect. Another hollow grind blade with the point on it. Yeah. Is it loose? Yeah, it's loose from side to side. There's play in there. This side, nope. There's no play in this one. So they got a pin through there, and you can't see it because it's been brushed over. So that one's held nicely. This other one is a little bit loose, but that's what you get for $3, $5, $6, whatever the case may be. But there's nothing sharp or annoying where it shouldn't be. It's an okay knife. Like, it's nothing special. Let's put that up there. But it's cheap. Now this thing, it's a frame lock. It's an all steel frame lock knife with a pocket clip. And the pocket clip's okay. Let's just take a quick look at how good the pocket knife. Yeah. Climbs over, it's got that flat spot on there. Nothing special, but it's an okay pocket clip. And open barrel, open construction. 2 pins back here, and of course the pivot. flipper, there's no jimping on the flipper. Oh, sorry if I wasn't staying in focus. I keep holding this too close to me down here. I got to stay in the middle. Put that back on the screen. The flipper doesn't have any jimping or anything on it, but we've got thumb studs, and with either hand, the thumb studs are, you know, easy enough to get at. With a little bit of wrist action, sticking a little bit. It always sticks on left hands because I'm putting a little pressure on that lock arm. So frame lock knives, unless they're specifically made left-handed, really aren't a good choice for lefties. Let's try the right side. Yeah, works just fine. Yeah, I don't like that. So it's not super smooth. See the flipper? Takes a little bit of wrist action. If I just use the flipper on its own. Oh, that went. Yeah, that's all the way. That's locked. So, yeah, it's not terrible. What do we have in here? I think nylon, white nylon washers in there. Lockup's not terrible. Yeah. We've got a crisp edge on this side, not super crisp. You know how, see how it's chamfered on this side? Well, in chamfered here, they didn't think about when you go to unlock it, you're pushing on just it's slightly rounded. That 90-degree edge there is just slightly rounded, but it can be a little annoying on your thumb. See, oh, focus on my thumb here. You can still see it. Those are the marks from pushing in there to disengage the lock so I could close it. But alignment is not bad at all. Like on a Civivi, if it had this alignment, I wouldn't be complaining about it. So it's pretty close to right down the middle. And we've got a decent working blade shape. Again, I think this is another hollow grind again. Let me put a straight edge across there. Yep. I guess they like making hollow grinds for OzarkTrail, at least for a lot of them. And it's a little thick at the edge. That's definitely over 20 thou. Thick right there, I just know from feeling it. It's not a lot over, just a tiny bit over. But yeah, nice sheepsfoot, straight edge blade. Who knows what steel it is? Of course, you got the big OzarkTrail badging on there. But it works. If you are in a pinch, there you go. Let's put that guy up there. This guy, you've got a bar lock or access lock, whatever you want to call it. And pocket clip, again, right side only. Some kind of polypropylene, maybe ABS, plastic right there. And let's check this clip too, yeah. Here we go. Oh, just barely. This time there's not a lot of room for your jeans to get under there, but it works. I did carry this a little bit and I didn't have problems with it, but I didn't, you know, it's hard to look down your side to see exactly how much clearance you have there. Yeah, it doesn't hold super tight, but it holds. And using the button screws in there, there's still enough room. You know, it stands off far enough that you can get those in there, no problem. Yeah, let's see if I can open it just using the access lock. Oop, it takes a bit. It's not as smooth as it should be. Closing, not so much. I found this when I was carrying it. It takes a fair bit of pressure for this last little bit, and then it slides over. And that's because this edge here, when the steel comes around, it's not finessed, you know, to work super well. And I had a Ganzo like that, one of the FB 370s. I forget what it is. I sold it at my sale, and of course I told the buyer what was going on. It takes a very precise rounding of the back end of that tang of the blade for it to work really well for that, but that's okay. And again, we've got a hollow grind on this thing. I actually like hollow grinds. And who knows what steel it is. Bit of a swedge up there. No jimping on here, no jimping on this one. Jimping takes more work, and they're not going to do that on a $6 knife. But you got this cutaway here for a lanyard hole, so your paracord doesn't stick out too far. It's a nice little touch. And it's usable. It's workable. You know, with a bit of wrist action, and then you got to close it. It's okay. Similar kind of thickness at the edge, probably right around 20 thousandths of an inch. That's 0.5 millimeter thick right at the edge, just like this guy. And these guys were a little bit thinner, except for right at the tip there. It's a little bit thicker on this guy. And this guy's a little bit thinner all the way along. Not much, just a little bit. And again, a little bit thicker, closer to the tip. Yeah. How good is the hardware on these things? Not so good. Not so good at all. Here, what do we got? Here's my T6. And let's take a look. It's not terrible, but that's more play than most of the knives that I review on the T6 screw. Let's try these ones here. So yeah, a little bit more. So you have to be a little more careful when you take the knife apart. Oh, this one's a T8 as well, a Wera T8. So let's check the big pivot screw. Oh no, that's nasty. Having that much play on the T8 is not good. And that screw head just is a bit of a mess. Yeah. Pretty par for the price though, I think. And check this guy over here. Yeah, these are T6s, the body screws back here. You know, also no screws on there. Body screws on here. Yeah, just like the other one. And the pivot screw. Not terrible. This one's actually a little bit better than this one. So just be careful when you're taking it apart. And, you know, if you want to lube it and stuff, you know, generally, I've had a number of these, because I've gone to the United States quite often. I've bought a few OzarkTrail knives. I tend not to take them apart unless I absolutely have to. I'd rather just take some oil and, you know, drizzle it in there. Maybe loosen it a little bit if it's not stripping on me on the pivot screw. But the other screws I don't really want to play with because they're going to strip out too easily. They probably have Loctite on them. They might not have Loctite. You just never know because they're not all made by the same manufacturer. I guess they use a few different manufacturers to make them. You can tell that by the part number on the back. Like the product part number, not the Walmart's number, but the product part number. You know, they've got a number of different styles of number on it, and that depends on the manufacturer. So there you go. They do have some knives that they say what the steel is. Now, those knives, like OzarkTrail knives, those knives are still made with pretty cheap stainless steel, but it's better stainless steel than this totally non-described stuff other than it's stainless. So they've got some that's 7CR17. That's pretty close to 440A, which I don't prefer, but it's not a terrible steel. It's, you know, probably better than these no-name ones. Or some of them they claim to be German 4116. If they are the steel that they claim, you know, that's better than a steel that you have no idea what it is. But I've got no idea if these OzarkTrail knives really use the steel that they claim to use. I just don't know. Fit and finish, a bit rough everywhere, but better than a lot of gas station or most gas station knives that I've bought. And Walmarts are ubiquitous. You're going to find a Walmart in most communities that are built up, you know, have I don't even know how many thousands of people you need in the States to get a Walmart. But I live in a town of about 8,000 people here in Alberta, and we've got a Walmart. And so a lot of places have access to OzarkTrail. So if you're in a pinch, or if you're just broke, a lot of people are, especially these days and age. The economy is getting a little bit better in the U.S. It's still taking more time in Canada for the economy to start coming back. So if you're in Canada, you're not going to the States anyways if you're broke to buy anything. But there you go. They've got lots of fixed blades as well. I just looked online. What was there? 55 OzarkTrail knives listed. And none of these were on there. And these were purchased recently, so, you know, they got way more than 55 OzarkTrail knives in their repertoire. So there's something for just about everybody if you want a budget knife, really low cost. Thank you very much to those guys who support the channel. I appreciate you very, very much helping out financially. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave a comment. It really does help the channel out if you leave a comment. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.